What if houses could be built the same way cars are made in factories? In recent years, the Australian government has expanded the use of modular housing as part of its response to the country's housing shortage, drawing renewed attention to the construction method. As rising property prices and higher rents place increasing pressure on younger generations, interest in modular housing continues to grow. So, what exactly is modular housing, and what lessons could it offer for South Korea? Homes built in factories. Modular housing describes a construction method in which around 70 to 80% of major building elements, including walls, ceilings, and floors, are manufactured in factories before being assembled at the construction site. The term module refers to a unit that makes up one section of a building. Because much of the construction takes place indoors, modular housing is less vulnerable to weather disruptions and unexpected issues at building sites. It also allows for more consistent quality control. In the past, this method was mainly used for temporary buildings, but recently its use has expanded to apartments, hotels, and many other types of buildings. Why is modular housing receiving attention? The growing interest in modular housing is largely driven by rising property prices and worsening housing shortages. The cost of housing is influenced not only by construction expenses, but also by land values, government regulation, taxation, and labor costs. In heavily populated metropolitan regions, rapidly increasing land prices have pushed housing further out of reach for many people. Another major issue is that housing cannot be supplied quickly. Large-scale housing projects often take several years from securing land to final completion. This is one reason why many countries are turning their attention to modular housing. Since factory production and on-site construction can take place at the same time, modular housing can significantly shorten construction periods compared to traditional building methods. Shorter construction times also reduce labor and financing costs. As a result, modular housing is being viewed as a possible solution for supplying homes more quickly. Are there any drawbacks? However, modular housing cannot solve the housing price problem overnight. One of the biggest challenges is economic feasibility. Modular housing depends heavily on economies of scale, a situation in which production costs decrease as production volume increases. In other words, costs only fall when a factory-based mass production system is fully established. But in South Korea, the modular housing market is still in its early stages, and experts say demand is not yet large enough. Because of this, modular housing can sometimes cost more than traditional construction methods. There are also technical limitations. In particular, applying modular construction to high-rise apartment buildings, the most common type of housing in South Korea, requires advanced technology capable of withstanding earthquakes and strong winds. Since modular buildings are assembled from multiple sections, ensuring structural stability becomes even more important as buildings grow taller.